Sentinels are mutant hunting machines, designed by Dr. Bolivar Trask, a scientist who feared the potential threat of mutants to humanity. Sentinels were created to detect and neutralize mutants, considering them a danger to human society. Over time, they evolved both in design and purpose, becoming a recurring challenge for mutant kind. Sentinels possess incredible technological advancements, equipped with a vast array of weaponry and adaptable abilities that make them formidable opponents for mutants. Their primary power lies in their ability to analyze and replicate mutant powers, making them adaptable and resistant to various attacks. Sentinels lack individuality and emotions, functioning solely to fulfill their programming to locate and eliminate mutants. This relentless pursuit has led to conflicts with various mutant heroes, particularly the X-Men, who often find themselves battling these robotic foes to protect mutant kind. Sentinels are mutant hunting machines, designed by Dr. Bolivar Trask, a scientist who feared the potential threat of mutants to humanity. Sentinels were created to detect and neutralize mutants, considering them a danger to human society. Over time, they evolved both in design and purpose, becoming a recurring challenge for mutant kind. Sentinels possess incredible technological advancements, equipped with a vast array of weaponry and adaptable abilities that make them formidable opponents for mutants. Their primary power lies in their ability to analyze and replicate mutant powers, making them adaptable and resistant to various attacks. Sentinels lack individuality and emotions, functioning solely to fulfill their programming to locate and eliminate mutants. This relentless pursuit has led to conflicts with various mutant heroes, particularly the X-Men, who often find themselves battling these robotic foes to protect mutant kind. Sentinels are mutant hunting machines.
Jill!
Brad!
We've got a... Hey, Shalom. Call Hello Yamla, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash, Rakta Yahweh, Rakta Yahweh Shai, Rakta Rakha Kodash, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. Shalom and double honors unto the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elder bishops and the elders in the Akim and the Aqua of the hopeful elect. Shalom. I just want to go into a quick video, diving looking a little bit further into those AI robots. As you know, the spirit came upon me to think upon the ramifications that these AI robots are going to have in these last days, and it hit me as far as like the stars as well, like because we're gonna go into what the stars is, because in this video game called Resident Evil, there's this villain in there, you know, a zombie type villain called Nemesis, and throughout the whole game, his primary duty is to track down the stars police officers that knew about the original incident, who was responsible for that zombie outbreak. And so they created this creature called Nemesis programmed it to track down the stars police officers and delete them, right? And that's why when you're seeing in that one quick clip, you know, in that old game Resident Evil 3, he said stars because that's his only mission and objective, and it reminded me of the Sentinels too, and X-Men, the mutant cartoon, the comic book characters in the cartoon in the movies, the X-Men, because the Sentinels are programmed to track down mutants, and if you in the spirit, if you know can process that the mutants, that's just a disguised creation of the Israelites, because they're gonna have spiritual powers, special powers. And so, and I went into in the last video, went into the military budget that that America has with 1.52 trillion, and a good amount of that goes towards, they pump it into the artificial intelligence to weaponize the artificial intelligence, and that's going to go into these robots that you see in that other video on TikTok. And they can auto lock on their targets, and they know and they're specifically targeted, to hit certain and programmed to hit certain targets, and not their creator, which is Esau, right? As you saw, when Esau gets in the way, the robot stopped shooting, and no matter how many times he hit him, and was knocking it off course and getting it distracted, it stayed focused on its primary targets, that it was programmed. So these Sentinels is representation of these AI bots. The Sentinels that tracks down the X-Men, the Wolverine, and Cyclops and Beast and all of those characters, right? And Professor X. That's they basically letting us know what they're doing. They're creating AI bots to have that same thing. And then also the Terminator, that has a spiritual meaning in it as well, because it was trying to track down the Terminator in the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. They were trying to track down John Connor, because he was going to be the one to deliver the human race from the robot species, right? So it's all Israelite undertones, the Israelites versus Edomites undertones. And so these AI bots, now it's coming to fruition now, it came in my, unlocked in my mind that that's more than likely the case was going to be in these last days, that these bots could be programmed specifically to take down, 1/3 Israelites. That's a strong possibility, that it's not a coincidence, And so, and then that Nemesis character says stars, and throughout the whole game, he's always saying stars the whole time, right? Because that's a key note, and that's here in the scriptures, and we'll get that here. So, we'll go ahead and go to Revelation chapter 12 and verse 1. It says, "And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars." So this woman is Israel. And we'll get that real quick. Jeremiah, I believe it's 6:3, to let you know that the woman is talking about Israel, the Israelites. Let's see. 6:2. "I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman." So Zion, we're likened to a delicate woman. That's that woman in Revelation, talking about the nation of Israel. So we get that proper context. So it says, "And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun." And what's this sun? And the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. So the sun and moon represents the law, statutes, and commandments. Because we were clothed, and that covers our shame. The commandments, when you're doing right, but when you're doing wickedness, your shame will be uncovered. So we're clothed with the commandments, which protects us by the Most High. We receive protection from the Most High power when we keep in the law, statutes, and commandments. Those that don't keep the commandments, you're not clothed, right? Like Adam and Eve in the garden. So Proverbs 6:23. "For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is a light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life." So the commandments is a lamp, that's a light, right? So when it's dark, and we need that lamp more than ever in the darkest times in the history of mankind, in Babylon the Great, America. And going to 2nd Ezra chapter 5 and verse 1. Nevertheless, as coming the tokens," that's the signs, "behold, the days shall come." And what days? The last days that we're in right now. "That they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith." So we were taken into captivity over here in Babylon the Great. And the truth is hidden because that's part of us losing our heritage in Jeremiah 17:4. And then we lost our nationality over here in Babylon the Great. And the truth was hidden by the serpent because he had he gave us. He took the Bible and he took a majority of the Bible, and he gave us what was known as the slave Bible, which kept us in a slave mentality. And that's how that plantation Christianity was born as well. But you can all you have to do is Google the slave Bible, and you can get the breakdown of that. He took away a whole lot from the Bible and cherry picked, and that's what Christianity does, is cherry pick particular scriptures to keep us in a slave mentality and to love their oppressor and to bring in all nations and to do away with the law. That's the plain foundation of Christianity. So verse 2 says, "But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago." So the iniquity is going to be increased. So we're in the most sinful times in the history of mankind. "And the land that thou seest now to have root shalt thou see wasted suddenly." That's going into Jerusalem, because Ezra was still over there in the Holy Land when majority of Israel was taken off. Jerusalem, the southern kingdom, was taken to the old Babylonian captivity. So Israel today is a wasteland now. It's not properly built up because we have colonizers in our land. And verse 4, "But if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see after the third trumpet." That's going into one of the trumpets in the 7 trumpets in Revelation. After the third trumpet, that lets you know that's slavery. "That the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night." So that's the truth shining again, the law, statutes, and commandments, and the truth. So it's shining again in the night, and the moon thrice in the day. So that means a partial amount of the truth was present and prevalent That's why they and during the slavery times, because that's why they would try to gouge out the eyes of anyone that read the Bible, because they were trying to keep it hidden. But remnants of the truth was still people. Some of them still knew. That's why they sung those Negro spirituals of swing low, sweet chariot to carry me home, because they knew about the chariots, the so-called UFOs. They wanted to get beamed up and taken back to the homeland. And so truth was there to a degree, but not all the way, like it did when it exploded back into the earth around 1969, when we started awakening back to the truth. So that's what the sun and moon is: the truth and the law, statutes, and commandments. Just to get that, just to go ahead and prove that. So Revelations 12 and verse 1. So it says, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. So that now we know that that's the law, statutes, and commandments, and the truth. And that woman is Israel, no other nation. And upon her head a crown of 12 stars. So that crown represents rulership, and we are to rule all nations under the Messiah when Yahweh sends Yahushua to return, right? So, and those 12 stars represents what? The 12 tribes of Israel. That's what those 12 stars are. And then so in the spirit, when I remembered that game, with Nemesis, when he every time you see him and you come across him in the game at various times throughout the game, you have to fight him many times, and then you got a final fight with him at the end of the game. But he's always repeating that word stars, because that's what he's trying to kill, the stars. So, and these AI bots could be created to be trying to kill the stars, the Israelites, in these last days. So, that's pretty powerful when you think upon it. But the Most High won't let the Israelites, the elect, be destroyed like that. So verse 2, and she being with child cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. And this is going into the into Yahushua, when he came on the scene 2,000 years ago, when he was born, right? In verse 3, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. So it was the first wonder was the Israelites, the nation of Israel, and then Yahushua about to be born, and the Messiah. And then this other wonder in heaven is the old Roman Empire. That's what that red dragon is, because Esau was red all over, like a hairy garment. And he's graduated from that serpent, from the garden, that spirit that was in that serpent, graduated to this grew into this great red dragon now, in his full diabolical might now, with his military. Having 7 heads. That's going into all of the major major nations of Esau Edom: Greece, Rome, Spain, France, Germania Major, Germania Minor, just all of the European area, and then Great Britain. Those are 7 heads, and then the 10 horns is the original 10 nations that signed that Treaty of Rome. The European Union, and then NATO off of that as well. And so that's what that is, the foundation. So this red dragon is that's that foundation. The Roman Empire is the foundation of the Greco-Roman Empire. Is the foundation of these 7 heads. That's the so that's what that's encompassing and talking about there. And verse 4, and his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven, and so a 3rd of 12 is 3. So that's going into a 3rd that's going into the southern kingdom, because only the southern kingdom was in the Holy Land when the Messiah had when he was born. So that was going into Benjamin, Judah, and Levi, over in the tribe, also known as the kingdom of Judah, and did cast them to the earth, because 70 AD And they oppressed us for a while. We was under oppression, paying taxes to the Romans. That's why Yahushua said, "Give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and give unto the Lord what is the Lord's," because we were oppressed and ruled over at that time by the Romans. And then 70 A.D., a little while after Yahushua was crucified, resurrected, and ascended back to heaven, we were destroyed by the Roman armies from being a state in 70 A.D. And the dragon stood before the woman. Let me see. And did cast them to the earth, and the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born, because Herod wanted to, he wanted to kill the Messiah because because they knew about the Holy Scriptures. They always did, and always do know about the Scriptures until this day, and they knew about the prophecies of our Messiah. The prophecies of the Messiah coming into the earth to, save, to deliver the Israelites. So we'll go to Matthew chapter 2 and verse 1. Now when Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem. Let's see, verse 2, saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him. So the wise men came and inquired of the Lord Yahushua, because they got the message from the angel. They got from the Most High. It says, saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him. Verse 3, when Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with them. So if all nations are going to be saved, and if they knew that, and they know the Scriptures, so why would an Edomite be troubled at hearing the birth of the Messiah? If he knew that all nations are going to be saved, he would be happy, right? No, because he know that the Messiah, the Messiah of the Israelites, is going to take down Esau. He knows that that's what's going to happen, and not everybody is about to be saved and receive hugs like bugged out satanic Christianity teaches. So we'll just drop down verse 7. Then Herod, when he had privily called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared. So he asked the wise men privately at what time. And then verse 8, and he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child, and when ye have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also. But that's just the serpent, the devil the Bible speaks of, always deceiving, because he didn't want to worship him. If he wanted, why would he get troubled if he wanted to worship him? He just lying so that he can try to assassinate the Messiah. Verse 13. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeareth to Joseph in a dream, saying, arise and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. So that's what was going to happen. So that just proves that Herod is a liar and a deceiver and devil, and he wanted to commit a profane act by trying to, and that's their whole objective, to always thwart and try to overcome the prophecies, because they know the prophecies of the Messiah of the Israelites coming from the Most High, Yahweh, to deliver the Israelites and establish them and deliver them from the hand of the Edomites and all heathen. And then, so if that's how they were trying to track down the Messiah, they're going to try to track down the elect as well. And this time, in the spirit, I believe, I speak as a man, but I'm thinking that they might try and use AI robots programmed to track down, but the Most High will give the elect spiritual powers because we'll need that in that day. And then also, disguise and cloak and hide men and women and children as well, right? And so we'll get Isaiah 59. This is a very important verse to understand because these times, Esau, his might is far greater than the strength we have right now. And so we're going to need to be upgraded, not the spiritual bodies, not yet, but we'll need to receive just like, Samson and David, the mighty men of David, they had special abilities, right? So we're going to need to be enhanced a bit, increased and endowed with levels of strength, and power that to withstand the onslaught of these of what could potentially happen with these AI bots. Isaiah 59:19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the armies, the man armies and the robot AI bots. The spirit of the Lord Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai shall lift up a standard against him. As we, when you read about the accounts when men do incredible, miraculous feats like Samson, it says what the spirit of the Lord came over him, and then he took that jawbone of an ass and slew 1,000 Philistines. And that's going to happen again in these last days. So that standard, when you go into that word standard, to flee, escape, to flee, to escape, to take flight, depart, disappear. So it's like, wait a minute, what is it? No man has ever disappeared. So there's a creature, there's a quote unquote mutant in X-Men called Nightcrawler. That's what he does. He disappears and reappears all throughout the room, or he can go and teleport different areas. And that's one of the spiritual powers that a man will have like that. And to fly on horseback, to drive at, to take flight, to put to flight, so it's to cause to disappear, hide. So that word goes into spiritual powers and special abilities, and people will be, cloaked and camouflaged, and not be seen by the flood of armies and soldiers and men that want to destroy the Israelites, and to no avail, So just want to kind of dive into that again because it was a lot more to go into on that, to bring that perspective and understanding, because Esau hides everything in his movies, and like that nemesis, that nasty looking zombie creature, right? Kept saying stars. So what stars they have? It's an acronym for the game, like I forget what it's called, special tactics and something. But it's an acronym that Esau craftily had made. But we know in the spirit that those stars is talking about the stars of heaven, the stars going into the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel. So with that being said, I hope this video was edifying. Until next video, I say, Shalom.